Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. My name is Jalisha Monet and I am your host here. If you are new to my channel, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's video and stick around. And if you are returning, y'all, today's video is going to be a little different from what you are familiar with. However, we're going to have a chit chat. If you do not know, I purchased my first home under 30 by myself. I literally purchased my home last year around this time. So I am slowly approaching my 1 year mark of being in my home. Now, my purpose for making this video is because when I was on my journey of finding a home and going through that process, I personally did not find many first-time home buyers who looked like me, who were under 30, who did not have children. So I wanted to bring something new to the table. There's nothing like finding someone who looks like you, sounds like you, and who have very similar characteristics going through a journey that you were going through as well. So that's why I wanted to come on and just share my experience, talk about some things. And also, if you are considering purchasing a home, hopefully this helps you be more insightful in what to expect and what to consider when you are purchasing your home. I have my iPad here with a few topics that we'll cover, with the first one being your budget. Your budget is going to be specific to you. It's personalized to you, your needs, and what you want and what you're looking for, the location. So with your budget, I recommend that you consider a budget for your mortgage as well as a budget for your purchase price. Additionally, whenever you are considering your budget, also factor in additional expenses that come with the home, such as pest control, security, lawn care, your maintenance issues that may arise. So it is a lot to factor into when you are considering a budget. I recommend your budget match the area or location that you want to live in. I personally set my budget first based on my affordability, and then I looked around and found areas that match that budget. For me, I moved on the outer skirts to find a home that fit my budget. So consider that as well. If you live in a large city, consider moving on the outer skirts about 30-40 miles outside of the city, or even further. Your location will play a big role in your budget. And with location, I would ask myself, am I flexible? Is my budget realistic to the area that I want to live in? If your budget is not realistic to the place that you want to live or the area you want to live, then you may want to find a location that's realistic for your budget. So location is truly based on preferences. I would also consider, do you like to drive? Are you a commuter? Do you mind sitting in traffic? If you're in a small city or a small town where you don't have to worry about those things, kudos to you. However, if you're in a major city, those are things that you want to consider, especially since it seems like every big city is experiencing traffic issues, the cost of living is rising. So there's so many things to consider when you are picking your location. Sometimes you will have to compromise, but that's where you have to decipher, where do I want to compromise. The third point is going to be save. Save as much money as you can, because that will play a factor into your down payment. Also, when you close on your home, you may have to purchase appliances, if not all, some new furniture, the whole nine. So save. Like, that's just plain and simple. Save. And with saving, let's go into our finances. With our finances, there are key things that mortgage lenders look into. They look into your credit, so your credibility, your job history, your stability on a job, or payment history, and any other debt collections you may have. What worked best for me was ensuring that my credit was in order and that I got my credit as high as possible before allowing a lender to run my final numbers. So about 3 months before I was ready to purchase, I reached out to one lender. I reached out to one and I said, hey, I'm interested in purchasing a home. Can you run my numbers to see what I will qualify for? That lender told me exactly what I needed to work on. Personally, if you feel like a year from now I want to purchase a home, do it. Find you a lender, have them pre-qualify you. They will tell you exactly what you need to work on. And I will say, every lender is different. However, the financial qualifications are going to be very similar across the board, no matter what lender you go with, So most of them are looking for the exact same things. They want your credit utilization to be below 30% or even lower. So I recommend just one lender because that one lender is going to point out specifically what you need to work on. Even if you decide not to go with that lender, just reach out to one lender. Hey, I want to purchase a home. Do you mind running my numbers to see what I qualify for? When I tell you, they are going to eat you up and spit you out. Or they're going to be like, you know what? You're a good candidate, but let's fine tune. Let's get this credit card either at this dollar amount or below. Let's pay off this collection. Let's get this removed. Like, they are going to help you get your credit in shape because that's what they are there for. They want to ensure that your credit is in the best possible shape. Even if you're a year out, even if you feel like 2 years from now, I want to purchase a home, but let me see what's going to affect me. Because sometimes the things that we think may affect us, like our student loans and, different factors, they do not hurt us as much as other things on our credit. So I recommend reaching out to a home lender. So with that being said, after you get your finances in order, you got that tip-top perfect credit score, now let's find us a realtor. I recommend going with a realtor that you feel comfortable with. You want to see your realtor's work. That was very important to me. I wanted to see my realtor closing on homes. I wanted to see that my realtor knew what she was doing. I wanted to see that my realtor was knowledgeable. So those were things that were important to me when I was finding a realtor and when I made the decision of who I wanted my realtor to be. Once you find a realtor and you're ready to go through the mortgage lending process, I recommend finding 3 to 5 mortgage lenders that you're interested in and have them run your numbers. Going back to what I mentioned earlier, although every lender is different, many of their qualifications will be the same. However, when it comes to the approval process and how much you can get approved for, one lender may approve you for, I'm just going to throw out random numbers. One lender may approve you for $350. The next one may approve you for $320. Then you may have one that approve you for $375. So every lender have different qualifications and different lending amounts based on your specific situation. So that's why I recommend reaching out to 3 to 5 lenders. You could do more. You can reach out to as many lenders as you want to. A little trick that I learned was that whenever mortgage lenders are pulling your credit, it only dings you once. So within a 30-day time span. So you can have 20 lenders pull your credit and run your numbers. It's only going to ding you once. With your lender, talk to them about your numbers. Hey, with my numbers, which loan do I qualify for? What route do you recommend I take? You have your FHA loan, which is most common with first-time home buyers, and you have your conventional home loan, which is for your buyers who can put 20% or more down on their home. Honestly, if I would have known more about the conventional loan, I probably would have went that route. Because you do not have a PMI when you put 20% down or more. And PMI is a private mortgage insurance that's added to your mortgage for those who go the FHA route. And lastly, I recommend that you do not compare your experience with anyone else. Your experience is unique to you. And what one person may have experienced on their home buying journey, you may not experience, and vice versa. So I truly recommend that you go through this process with just an open mind. when you do your part and you come to the table with everything in order as much as possible, it is going to be an easy breezy process. You know, you see people, they want to purchase a home, but their credit is out of whack. They don't qualify in any way, and they go through that process, and it makes it so stressful. So one thing about me, if I cannot give anybody any advice, always prepare. And I do want to go into a little bit of my story and my journey of purchasing a home, just to provide a little credibility, you know. So last year I made up in my mind that, you know what, I want to prepare myself. So January of 2023, I made up in my mind that I wanted to prepare myself to become a homeowner. Now, in my mind, I said that at the end of 2024, going into 25, I wanted to purchase a home. I wanted to be a homeowner. I had given myself way more time than what was on the timeline. In January, I started fine-tuning my credit, saving money, just doing all the things that I needed to do to ensure that when that time came, I was ready. And so that summer of 23, that's when I started reaching out to lenders, looking at homes, going to different areas, just really scoping out the scene and seeing what was out there for me, and getting a feel and idea of what I wanted in a home. I knew off top that I wanted a new build. I wanted a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and I wanted like an open floor plan. I knew those things. But I got in the field, y'all. I got in the field to really, I went to different areas, neighborhoods, and, you know, really sought out what was there for me. But yeah, so once I was ready to bring my realtor and get her involved in the search, that's when I knew, like, okay, Jaleisha, you're ready and you're serious about it. Because one thing about me, I was not going to waste my realtor time. Although, you know, that's her passion, that's what she loved to do. But personally for me, because I know I'm an indecisive person, I just did not want to do that. So I let her know, hey, I got a couple things that I'm working on. I've been looking, but as soon as these numbers are right, they're where I want them to be, and I'm ready, we green light. So I got to that point and we went looking out, and I want to say the second or third home that we looked at together, I was like, this is the one. I loved it. We tried to go look at other homes after I found this one, and I was like, no, they were not it. And when I seen my home, I knew it was the one. I just knew it because I instantly fell in love with it. And after, you know, seeing the home that I purchased, the one that I'm in now, after looking at this home, me and my realtor, we tried, like, I want to say 2 more communities, but I was like, no, wasn't impressed, wasn't nothing, just nope. Like, I can go home now. Like, I know what I wanted. So I took a few days, prayed about it, pondered on it, and then I went under contract. Going back a little bit, in January of 23, I literally wrote a prayer, and it said something along these lines, not verbatim because I truly don't remember, and I could go find it, but it's not that serious. But it said something along the lines of, like, dear Lord, you know, thank you for the mindset of wanting to become a homeowner. For my first home, I wanted to be a 3-bedroom home, 2-bath, 2-car garage, open floor plan, and in a new build. And when I tell you that is exactly what I got, that is exactly what I got. And I'm like, you cannot tell me that the Lord does not answer our prayers. Our even prayers that we may feel are simple, He answers them. And I'm like, although that prayer could have fit any home, I just knew this was my home because I fell in love with it, like, you know. And I had looked at plenty of homes and I was not impressed. And I know that I'm a picky person, but when I walked into my home, I knew that it was mine. I wanted something modern, down from the floors. Like, you know how you can just visualize something before you even see it? That was me. So let's fast forward. I went under contract October 10th, 2023, which was 3 days before my 28th birthday. And y'all, child, that what is it called? What is that payment called when you take earnest money? Child, paying that earnest money. Y'all, I was like, baby, that earnest money wasn't no joke. I said, baby, this is the most money that has ever left my accounts. And I did not want it to leave. And then the down payment, sickening. Sickening. Like, oh, it's making me sick thinking about it. Like, oh my gosh. But like, just seeing thousands of dollars just leave your account that you don't work hard for, like, oh my gosh, y'all, it's giving me PTSD thinking about it. but child, paying that earnest money, I was like, oh my gosh, this is real. Like, once I did that, you could turn back, but at that point, I'm in too deep now. I am in too deep, and I'm not a quitter. But I paid my earnest money on October 10th, and I closed on my home less than 45 days later, November 21st, 2023. When I tell you, that was the most stressful time period. And truthfully, when I look back on it, it wasn't stressful at all. It was not stressful. But going through that process of, having the lender reach out to you, hey, I need this, that. And then they approve everything. It looks good. So we go to another level and they're like, okay, we need X, Y, and Z, this, and that. They need documents that you've already given them. Like, it was so like, I want to say frustrating, but it wasn't frustrating. It was just like so nerve-wracking because you're like, I just gave the previous person this document. Like, you need it again? But thankfully, as I was pulling those documents, I was saving them in a folder. So that way, when they ask for it, just boom, here you go. Because they're typically going to ask you for like the same documents that you've already provided. But yeah, and it got real intense. I'm not going to say it was stressful. It was stressful. I'm not even going to say it wasn't. But it was very intense because they are asking you every single thing, your job history, your address. Like, they want to know your whole life. Like, they want to know so much about you. And y'all, they were like, what were you doing in 2014, 2015? Y'all, I barely graduated high school at that time. Like, what you mean? Like, where was you working? Like, the questions that they were asking, like, it was very tense. It was intense. Do not get me wrong. But I will say, when you have everything in order, you have your ducks in a row, when they ask you for a document, just get it to them as soon as possible. It does make the process smoother and a lot easier. In closing day, when I tell you, it took me longer to drive to the location than it did for me to sign the paperwork. Like, closing was so quick. I called that morning, got my wire set up for the funds to be wired over to them. And once they got that wire, a couple hours later, I was able to get my keys. And if you have a desire to become a homeowner, you literally can do it. I know and I believe that you can. There are so many avenues for people to take advantage of. There's programs, there's many things out there. And sometimes we just have to do the legwork. And when we're willing to do the legwork, or even the hard work, sometimes it pays off, So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope this video was very informative. And if you have any questions, definitely comment down below. I would love to chat and just give more insight on my experience if I'm able to, or, within reason. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.